Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Somerset Sports Talk, presentation of Somerset County Recreation Parks and Tourism. I'm Gary.
I'm Jack.
I'm Cooper.
Cooper is the special guest.
Yay, Cooper.
Yay!
We got somebody come help us out.
Somebody wants to, tired of just listening to the two of us, so he stepped up.
A young perspective.
A young perspective. We'll see how much.
We'll see how bad we can beat him up.
Well, we'll see how much the old man's perspective played off onto the young man's perspective.
Yeah.
If you don't know
We
it,
don't want to put him to sleep.
can't tell we're twins. We look alike, so.
You're related or something.
Yes, somehow we are. I don't know exactly how, but Cooper said he wanted to sit in on this today, so welcome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome.
you. Thanks
All
for
right,
having
we're
me.
going to jump right into this with the NFL. There's just a few topics to talk about,
As always.
as always. The first one really being Bill Belichick. The New England said, we're done. We're going to come to hopefully an amicable parting of the ways.
That's already been happened?
Well,
It's
out
That's
there.
already happened?
It's out there. I don't
I
know.
know it's
if
speculative, but I
yeah.
don't think anything's happened yet, has it?
I don't know. I think it's pretty much a done deal. I don't know.
That's according to the right. See, I know somebody from Boston or
Yeah.
lived in Boston, and some of this could be not fake news, but it's what happens when the Boston writers start a topic
Right.
and they just ram it through,
Yeah.
and then it becomes real until it's not real, and then they go, "Oh, sorry about that. We were wrong." So I don't know. I'm going to take this at the
I thought they were.
grain of salt.
I thought they were. Well, we both listened to our favorite. Our favorite
And I
guy,
haven't-
Dan Patrick.
Yeah. Did he say it? Because
Well,
I haven't
they-
listened too much this week.
They've talked about it.
The possibility of how he would leave.
Right. But they talked about it
Or how
like
he-
it sounded like it was kind of a done deal.
Wow. Well,
So
that's surprising.
the question that I have is, what happens to Belichick?
Well, apparently, from all accounts that I've heard, he don't want to retire.
Right.
He still has the record that he's chasing.
He's like 17 games shy.
Yeah. So at this pace, he needs another 5 or 6 years. No wonder they're trying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
But he's been there for such a dynamic period of time through all the greats, great seasons and so on that you can't just kick him to the curb. So are they going to give him an option to go on his own terms or find another team?
Which probably will happen.
You think it will?
He-
You think he's done? I think he stays. I don't think he's done.
I think both sides need a new change. A change of scenery.
Well,
The team's 2-10, 3-10.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason why he wasn't canned like every other head coach in the NFL is because he's Bill Belichick. He has 6 Super Bowl rings and
Right.
over 300 wins. So it,
it's hard to get rid of a guy
It's hard
like
to get rid of
that.
a guy like that.
You want him to retire, but
He should go out on his own terms.
wouldn't you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then the speculation is, does he go to another team?
Well, there's
Rumors. Does he?
Rumors of him going to maybe a Carolina Panthers or maybe a defensive coordinator job up in Green Bay.
Oh, he'll
lot
never
of
do a
rumors.
coordinator.
I don't know where you heard
job.
that rumor
A lot
from.
of rumors going
I-
around.
Well, he's
that
on he's
rumor.
on the social media world, so he
Yeah.
probably sees way more than I do on
Yeah,
this stuff.
I have.
I've heard the Chargers too is one of the
Chargers.
options.
Here's my only thing: is there's only one place I think he would go be an assistant, and I'll circle back to that. But you could not have, I would think, Bill Belichick on your staff and not feel intimidated
Right.
as a head
100%.
coach.
Of course.
He's
He's not
accomplished
taking
so
an
much.
assistant's job.
No, I don't.
He,
I don't think
he
that.
doesn't even want to place. He wants to be both the GM,
GM.
and the coach. He's not changing that either.
And we've talked about this before. I think the only place he would be an assistant is Navy.
Oh, right. I forgot you said that.
Well, Did you see that the Army-Navy game?
I saw him
He
put a
was the
helmet
guest.
on.
Yeah, he was the
Yeah.
guest.
It would look like
picker.
he looked like he put a balloon into a
1960.
thimble. His head was a little bigger for that helmet, and his face was so. I want to get that thing on.
And he put it on with that headset microphone.
Yeah.
on.
And he did
that
it.
had to hurt.
So he had he's got.
But he's got, his father was a longtime assistant at Navy, and like he said, and I heard the story. He used to go to practice and play catch with Roger Staubach.
Yeah.
So he loves it. And then they said something about Navy lacrosse, and I think he was a big lacrosse guy too.
Yeah.
So that's the only place I would think he'd go.
Well, if he's not ready to kick it in, and it goes to that same mentality as all athletes. If you're not ready, then they have a real tough transition if they're forced into not being able to be part of something. So if it was really, a dramatic, mental sort of thing that he'd have to do something, who only knows what he might choose. But, the what's his name down in Tampa Bay, the head coach that went up to the upstairs.
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. He had a little bit of trouble leaving. Then he came back, won a Super Bowl, and they put him upstairs, and apparently was still part of the operation until finally they did kick him out, or he was no longer, involved with it.
But I think Belichick leaves on his own terms. He has 2 years, 1 to 2 years left on that.
They gave him
one.
He's got a 1 year extension.
1 year extension.
1 year extension on that
Which they'll eat.
$25 million contract. I think he stays for 1 more year. They let him go out on his own terms, and maybe they can make some trades in the offseason to try and get the Patriots back to their former glory.
But there's a new, as of today when we're shooting this, head coaching position available in San Diego.
And GM spot
they fired the GM
in
too.
Los Angeles.
So the Chargers,
And he's got Herbert.
Brandon Staley, I feel for the guy because he always had him close, but he never got over the hump.
Yeah.
And then last night, again, this is a Friday, so it's a Thursday night football game.
Yeah.
Last night they got destroyed.
Yeah. But Herbert wasn't playing.
Well,
That's
that's-
the
yes,
biggest
that's
problem.
why.
No Keenan Allen. They lost Mike Williams early with the ACL injury.
Yeah, they gave up. They were just
Well, that's
plus
what
they had a
they
lot
think.
of fumbles and short
Yeah.
fields and a lot of easy,
Yeah.
scores, and it wasn't a contest right from the get-go.
But is that you got an established quarterback who's a star?
yeah, we got
You
a lot
got
of talent
some.
there.
You got playmakers on offense.
Yeah.
Everybody raves about their defense, but I don't see it. But
Well,
They have a lot of talent on that defense. It's just their defense can't get it done.
yeah.
which is interesting because Staley's the defensive guy, right?
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
he came from a
he's-
defensive
he's
coordinator
def-
position.
Yeah. And you have Kellen Moore running that offense, and
Right. He came from
he
Dallas,
came from
right?
Dallas,
Yeah.
and you know his last play in Dallas was Zeke Elliott snapping the football to Dak, so you can't really trust that guy with
Forgot
anything.
about that. That was in the was that the playoff game?
That was a playoff game.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's a possibility. Already Indianapolis let go Frank Reich earlier in the year.
Right.
That's a
Carolina.
possibility.
Carolina.
Or I'm sorry, Carolina. He got fired.
Well, yeah,
at Indy,
Indianapolis
too.
too.
Maybe the Chargers would be a good place for Belichick to warm up his cold heart.
And
Oh, good one. I like that. He wouldn't smile in San Diego either.
Probably not.
But they
everybody-
were talking this morning about how his attitude, like after a game, if that were to happen under his regime, he would make it a very uncomfortable situation for the players.
Yeah.
The next time
Oh, yeah.
they got together, because it's all about effort.
Yeah.
And that's what the greats do, is they get the players to play
can motivate you.
even if there's nothing on the line, because
Yeah.
they're pros, they're supposed to put out their
Yeah.
out their all, et cetera, et cetera. But again, and Staley said it, and I heard the quote this morning, is that, hey, I didn't prepare the guys, obviously, because we had a bad game, but these games happen. These crazy games happen, and in all sports and all great coaches
Miami and Denver.
have a crazy game. Yeah,
Miami and Denver.
it just can grab you. A bad game is gonna happen.
What threw me is when Staley, after the game, considered himself a good coach. When you look at other good coaches around the league, they tend to have bad
Yeah,
games.
well, he's not
There's a
gonna-
quote
You're not going to say I suck.
Yeah.
He's trying to keep his job.
Yeah,
he knows he's on. He's like Rivera. He's on. You know, he knew that this was the last year.
Has that been announced yet, or?
Oh yeah, I mean it's all over Washington.
That he's out.
I'm listening to watching those guys,
yeah.
and man, they're already planned for next year. It's going to be a full. They're going to get rid of Bieniemy. This is all the word on the street.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be a full cleaning of the house. And there's a rumor that Belichick's name's on the list to come there.
His name is going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about Washington is that they don't have really a good O-line, and
No,
they have
O-line has been bad forever.
Inconsistent play
Since
at
the Hogs.
quarterback.
Oh, you'd think they haven't had anybody. Well, Kirk was actually a pretty good quarterback when he was in Washington, and
A little bit of RG3, and
you know,
a little bit of hope there.
little hope for that one season. But Washington that's a 5-year project, you know, basically.
Yeah.
I'll be so old if they ever have another winning season. But I hope to be, you know, around long enough to see it.
Oh yeah. All right. The next football NFL topic. Everybody made a big deal about the refs and the offsides call in the Kansas City Chiefs game. You know, if you're offsides, you're offsides. I don't.
So here's the thing. He was lined up offsides like 20 times that night.
That's what I heard. I
He
didn't
did it
realize
every
that.
freaking play.
Yeah.
He was either on it or close to it or
Yeah.
past it. So he was not being told one way or the other. He wasn't being flagged.
Well, on that last play, he checked with the referee.
Now they said he didn't.
He did this to the referee, and he still took another step to eventually be offside.
They showed that. See, I haven't seen the.
I saw a video of that. Yes.
So if the ref said,
I thought he didn't.
if the ref said you're good, and he took another step, that's on him. Then you can't go back and say the ref never told him.
Yeah.
Right.
So
It's just a shame, and I'm a KC fan, and I'm a Kelsey fan, and I'm, you know, I love all that goes with them. So
Yeah.
I'm a little biased from that standpoint.
Right.
It's just a shame that the guy can't do his job because he ended up being on the receiving end of a historic play that would have been a highlight through the end of the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that interesting a play, and it was not called.
no, it was scripted.
And that's the most
It wasn't
amazing part
scripted.
about it. And Andy Reid, I heard the clip that he said, you know, what'd you think about it? And he said, well, if he hadn't completed it, he was not coming back over to the sideline because I wouldn't have been able to control myself or something along those lines.
But if that's an incomplete pass to Kelsey, or he doesn't make that lateral,
Or it's a pick into the double coverage that
Yeah.
Mahomes threw it to.
Do they call the offside?
well, no, they called it because that's.
But I mean, do they call if it's not a
automatic.
touchdown?
Is it such a big deal?
If it's not a touchdown?
Yeah, if it's not a touchdown.
No, it's not such a big
So-
deal. I mean,
so you
basically, he
can't-
took a game-winning play because it was not that much time left, and it would have put him
Minute and a
ahead.
half.
Yeah.
You know, it was unlikely that it would have come back. Who knows?
It
You know,
would
you're
have went
right.
up, I don't know, 3 maybe.
It took an extension of Kansas City's, you know, chance to win the game out completely.
Yeah.
And just undermine that. So it just was a shame. I remember just sitting there going, no.
Well, they had one more,
It
they had
couldn't
one more
be.
play. They had
Line
one-
up offsides.
Yeah.
I get it. They have one more play.
But
you can't. I mean, that's a one in a million plays. You know, unless they start designing these things.
Yeah.
You can pull them off that
But
way.
he-
But have it happen.
he was
I mean,
tight.
I've seen laterals. 3 feet.
Yeah.
Side 1 yard
Yeah.
sideways.
What a
But not
complete-
The
backwards,
lateral.
jumping in the air,
Yes.
throw backwards across the field.
Yeah.
For him to
amazing
run another
stuff.
25 yards.
And then to get into the end zone was something else too. Tony is an athlete for sure. He gets the job done when he gets the ball, but he's got other issues, dropping
it a lot too.
So you just wonder his
I don't know.
state of mind and his concentration level must be
I believe
a little bit off.
you call it no matter what. If that's the first quarter. Now,
Yeah.
why? If he lined up,
Why
I heard
didn't they
6
call it
times.
before?
Why didn't they call it before? I get it, but the ref did not know at that point that was going to be a touchdown play.
Correct.
So you
Yeah.
can't say, well, and this thing about the refs want to make
Was
it
it
about
flagged
themselves.
immediately?
Yes.
So it was
Yeah.
flagged. So that hey, you
Yeah.
gotta call it. There's no other way to do it. They couldn't have taken it back.
The only thing that I really do not like is how Pat Mahomes reacted.
Well, he walked that
I get
back.
it.
He walked it back. He said he
Yeah.
knew. You know, he said it was wrong that he acted that way.
I
didn't see the exchange
And
at the field, center field
Yeah.
with
Oh,
Allen.
the way he shook
But
Josh
apparently
Allen's
it
hand,
was not
it,
good.
it was not. It wasn't fair to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Josh Allen could have easily responded. We lost on a coin toss.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
And
Right.
There
There
he
you
lost
go.
on a coin toss. He didn't flip
It's
out
just-
like how Mahomes did
Yeah,
for
exactly.
one
Yeah.
regular season game.
I get it. They got kind of ripped off the week before against the Packers
Yeah.
because that was
A couple times, yeah.
that was a
That was
penalty
unbelievable.
on
Yeah.
Scandling.
Yep.
That Scandling.
Yep.
And Travis Kelce, as he went up,
Yeah, but
Campbell pushed him a
Oh,
little bit on that
just
Hail
a
Mary.
little. Oh, man.
Yeah, you're never
is-
gonna get that call.
Yeah.
The whole notion
But they got
of
the
refs
call on
is-
Mahomes running out of bounds. He wasn't out of bounds
No,
when the
he
guy
was
hit
not
him.
out of bounds.
So
Yeah.
So
you got that call late to
It
get
all,
you 15
I mean, I'd
yards.
say that
Yes.
it evens out 100%, but there's so
Yeah.
many bad calls.
Yeah.
You just think you just got to weather the storm,
Yeah.
and that some will go against them as well as you.
And I
You
just
know.
I can't stand when people say the refs want to make it about themselves. I don't think they really do.
No.
That's not. It's not like, hey, look at me, I control the game. The players
I
are
can
just
tell you
my
this.
puppets.
If you've never been on a sideline, and I was young when I was on a sideline, so this is a little bit skewed in my memory of it, but you want to see football in a way that's impossible to watch, go stand on the sideline
Yeah.
and try to watch and see what's going on.
Stand
You're
in-
so used to that video, the TV view.
Stand in the end zone for 4 quarters,
Yeah.
and you'll see it. It's completely different.
It's so
Yeah,
different.
you've been on
so
the field.
think
Yep.
about an umpire, ref, whatever they call them, being that person on the field watching this in live action,
Yeah.
and you have the bird's eye view, and they don't. And so,
but they do have the up close. And
well, they have the up close
Personal.
situation,
Well,
sure.
they're
To-
not-
to an
they're-
extent.
They're
To an
not that up close.
Right,
And,
right.
The field, the back judges are, they're back.
But at certain angles
So-
and the way they see,
Yeah.
there's crisscrossing bodies and there's so much holding going on and grabbing.
Every play.
So they
Every-
can't,
yeah.
every play. They can't necessarily see it all. But there are some patterns that have evolved. Like the left tackle jumping early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you see that every play, every game
Yeah.
almost. On
Yeah.
the pass play,
Yeah,
they're letting
but
them
they-
do
they
it.
let
So
them
because
do
they
it.
want the quarterback to have a chance
Yeah.
not to get, steamrolled, and so on. So, so many different ways of interpreting all of this. But I don't think the refs want to
I don't either.
be in
I
a
don't-
situation where they're the bad guy.
There might be
know?
one or two, like in the NBA.
Yeah, there's always an ego
There's always
element.
a guy.
Oh, yeah. There's always
Yeah.
College basketball. They always say the one.
the guy with Chris Paul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that guy.
Chris Paul should just walk away from that guy, but he doesn't either.
Yeah.
So they engage. He engaged with them, and that's
Scott
Just
Scott
walk
Foster.
away.
Scott
So how about the
Foster.
Yeah.
experiment? You play a game without, just like the
Referees.
backyard. Play 11 on 11, just like you do now. But could it be done? I don't know. You think it could be done?
No.
no.
I think it would.
It would
be
turn
too-
into
It
a
would be too
fist
intense,
fight,
and it
right?
would. Yes, it would turn
Yeah.
into a fight between
they're too-
everyone.
It's too
Be like a gladiator thing, where
Yes.
it's a winner take all money. I mean, think about it, right? So there's $100,000 a guy or $1 million a guy or whatever. Winner takes all. Back and forth, no refs. Now that would be some viewing.
And they put their own money up.
Yeah.
And they exactly
Yeah.
put their own money up.
Yeah.
So you either get it
Play
back or you
100,000 man
or you,
or-
you get
Yeah.
their guy, and that would be entertaining.
Dear Commissioner.
Yeah.
We have a plan to make it
Yeah.
make it better.
Give me Roger Goodell on the phone immediately.
All right.
Oh, before we go, are you still in NFL?
Yes.
Okay, I have another thing that I don't know if you've heard. It might come up in the meetings over the winter.
Sure.
Is the kickoff?
Uh-huh.
The XFL had a kickoff
Yes.
design where they kicked it off, but the players were within 10 yards of
Yes,
the defensive
each other.
players, and they couldn't move until the ball was
Caught. Yep.
Kind of like flag football or whatever that.
Is that what they're
Well,
going to propose?
it's a proposal,
Yeah.
and whether it's acted on or not, but it kind of makes a little bit of sense where you don't have bodies, at the high rate of speed
Yeah.
coming together, you have them at a lower rate of speed, and then you have that runner trying to find the seam. Or I think it would be very interesting.
Yeah, they kick off from like the 25.
Yeah.
The two teams are lined up at like the 40
Yeah.
and 45 or 40
Yeah.
and 50. And
Yeah.
and then once the guy catches it, they're only running.
Yeah, they're blocking and
Yeah.
trying to tackle him, and it would.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd still be a play, but it would be more of a.
A couple of years ago, they made the change from they banned the run up
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
the kick and just had them line up.
That's
with
right.
the kicker.
But here's my thing.
and that it should have done the trick with injuries and speed and
They're
Still,
running.
they still go very
Yes,
fast.
it doesn't take those guys long to get up to speed.
Some of those sounds of the pads and the bodies.
Yeah.
Man, you just think, wow, how do they get up? How do they get up?
You hope the pads work.
It'd just be like you putting on some pads and running full speed into the wall. Bang!
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what happens. But at
Yeah.
that guy's, the wall's moving forward at you.
But if you're going to do that, why not do it on the punt?
Well, there's yeah,
there's just as much chance,
true.
well,
It's true. There's the ball's
not
higher and
as,
it's
well,
in,
they
in
do.
the
I
field
guess
of play.
they do line up next to each other on the punt.
That's
so
right.
you can, but
So
that
there's a little bit more.
the guy catching it still has a guy taking a
It's
good
not
run
10
at it.
guys running full speed.
Yeah, they're just two of the gunners.
Just
so.
two of them on the side there. Which is why you have some. Well, heck, the Ravens game ended on that,
Yeah,
yes,
which was an
Yeah.
exciting game. I don't know if you guys
Insane
watched it. It was
Uh,
crazy game,
insane, crazy,
back and forth.
crazy
all
game.
right.
Oh my goodness, sorry, but I just thought
No,
that was
that's
interesting.
Because I'm just going to add another.
Because I did hear that it's probably going to be
Yeah.
because last year they tabled. They said they're looking at it, so they got another year's worth of data and so on and so forth. But it's either because it's kind of going so far the other way where it's only 9% of the kicks are returned or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
well, especially with the new inside the
they
inside
can
the 25.
take, they can take a fair catch and all that. So it is helping as far as the injuries go, but it's taking away that potential exciting speedster play. That is fun, like we watched
Yeah.
in the Ravens game.
Yeah.
I mean that you just like, is that real? Did that just happen? And wow, what a way to end an exciting game! To have a really exciting
In
play.
overtime. In
overtime.
Yeah.
After the two teams had back and
had
forth
possessed
had
the ball.
once.
Yeah.
So the next score wins.
So
Yeah.
done. I mean, you couldn't like that's a movie script
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
there. So that's why it's great.
All right, you mentioned Baltimore, and it got me to thinking: do we still have the same teams that we think have a shot? Miami, Baltimore, Kansas City, in the
I think it's-
AFC. Anybody else?
Well, what do you think? You're in the fantasy leagues.
What do I think?
Know all the best players
Six
and
of them.
teams.
So, well, first of all, in the AFC, the playoff picture is insane because every team that's
Right.
in it or in the hunt is above 500. So you don't know anything. My thing is anything can happen.
Anything has happened.
I-
Every week. It's crazy.
You have your big four, your division leaders: Miami, Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Kansas City, who's only a game above Denver right
Right.
now, which is no one.
Who
thought
knew that
could
was
happen.
even going to happen, right?
But you obviously have those power four. So I think between the AFC, it's a toss-up between those big four teams. The NFC, you have your, not really your big three. You have
Philly, San Francisco,
Philly, San
Dallas,
Francisco,
and Detroit.
Dallas and Detroit. Okay.
Dallas, I think, is playing the best out of San Francisco and Dallas
San
are
Francisco.
playing the best right now.
San Francisco is
Yeah.
probably your best bet. Brock Purdy is just insane with his completion percentage, his
Unbelievable.
touchdowns.
Unbelievable.
It's
It's amazing he's getting no love from
Yeah.
the average
Well,
fan,
I think,
A lot
I
of-
think he's getting MVP consideration.
Oh, he
He
is
is.
from the
A lot
people
of-
that are in the know.
Yeah.
a lot of people I know.
But the public is like,
Oh, they say
He's no
any
good.
Yeah, they say he's no good, and any quarterback can.
anybody could be
Well,
sitting in there and do
No,
that.
no kidding. That's how people get their MVP
Here-
considerations.
here's a stat that I heard today again. 40% of his pass completions are more than 25 yards.
Yeah, they are.
He's a deep ball thrower.
Yeah.
The thing about it is,
Get
for
no
any,
love for that. He's just throwing it to Debo, and Debo's running. No,
for
that's
any
not true.
quarterback, for
It
any
does happen a
quarterback,
lot,
happens.
though.
any quarterback to get into MVP consideration, they have to have weapons.
Got it.
Why is
Of
Dak in
course.
MVP consideration? Because CeeDee Lamb Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, all those guys.
Exactly.
They're able to get open, make plays, score some touchdowns.
Exactly.
You see where Cam Newton called him a game manager?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! What's a game?
Poor Cam, he needs something to do.
Well,
other than talk about football.
Yeah.
He's just bitter.
Yes, I think so
You
too.
know, they said he thinks he's better than half the guys
Yeah.
that are playing now. So,
But
And he
what's a
might be-
game
might,
manager?
Well, yeah.
That's what all the great
has been a
quarterbacks
game manager.
until they ran in, called in plays in their helmet.
Yeah.
But aren't you a game manager if you're not calling your own plays?
Right.
Exactly.
So
It's
you're
not-
a game manager.
It's not just running around
Or
making
you can make
heroic plays.
You can make a difference.
If you throw a money ball down the side where nobody can catch it, I mean that's managing the game.
Yeah,
Because you're not
throwing
giving the
to right
defense
spot.
a chance to catch that ball.
I don't like that.
But the skill that takes
you know?
to get that ball there is
Yeah.
what really matters. So, I think in terms of the leaders going towards the Super Bowl, at this point, you're seeing some cracks in Miami against
Philly.
better teams. Philly, you're seeing some cracks in their
They
defense,
struggled a little bit.
which is interesting because it's basically the same defense last year. Their secondary has given up some passes.
They got Bayard and Shaq Leonard from
Yep.
the Colts.
Don't Miami and Baltimore play each other coming up?
think so.
I think they do. Yeah.
That's not this week, is it?
No.
I think next week.
It's within the next couple
That's gonna be.
weeks.
So okay, let me ask you this: are the Bills still a contender?
Bills are.
You think so?
I think the Bills are. Bills are gonna. Here's my prediction for this week.
Dallas and Buffalo play this week.
Bills are gonna beat Dallas this week. It's in Buffalo.
Uh-oh.
They're on a hot streak.
Oh.
Dallas does not
Writing
play
that
as
down.
well out of town as in their building, and their strength of schedule. Although I mean they've run over some people, and
But they did get ran
you know,
over
they got run over by the
by
Niners,
some of those
you know,
same
so-
people and the Eagles.
and the Eagles. So the better teams. So the playoffs are all about the better teams.
Yeah.
So the records. That's why Kansas City's still a threat because that's 8-5, but they could be 11 and
Yes.
2 or whatever. Because the ball bounces one way, the ref calls you this to, the guy doesn't end up on offsides. Those are 3 wins that they could do right there. So and then the playoff history. You can never bet against Mahomes.
That
in the
2020
playoffs.
that 2020 season,
So-
24-0 down against Houston.
So I think to me right now, if I was going to rank them, you'd have San Francisco out of the NFC, and Kansas City is going to whittle its way through Baltimore in the championship series.
Through Baltimore. Right now, that's where it's headed. Baltimore.
I'd love to see Baltimore take it all the way.
Baltimore's defense is hot right now.
I'd love
and
to see it. I'd
Odell,
love to see it.
Odell's
Odell's
taking a
getting
stride
back,
in that
yeah.
offense.
And Lamar, I tell you, Lamar's throwing has gotten pretty good.
Yeah.
He actually can hit some dimes. I mean, he throws it in seams and
Well,
spots.
he's finally got the guys to throw him to.
And by the way, he is the greatest runner in all of football. If you watch him move, which I'm watching him every week, he gets out of situations and he just plays with these monsterly, unbelievable athletes on the other side of it.
Yeah.
And he just he's like Spider-Man or the man that disappears in the Marvel movies. Just he's one place, then he's another place, and then he's there. And you just can't even believe that a human can run like that. So that part of it makes it a lot better for him as far as him getting injured now because he's not putting himself in positions to get injured, and he doesn't clank into anybody.
Well, he was MVP consideration at the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised
Still
if
is.
Well,
he were
if
to
he
get one.
if he continues,
Yeah.
it
If
might be
they have home field all the way.
yeah, because their
Before the
schedule. I just went
playoffs,
over their
he
schedule
may-
with
he may get it.
was it Joey? It was Joey today about what their schedule was.
They have the
And,
Browns one more time, right?
They've got a
Steelers.
tough schedule. Steelers. I don't know about the
one more time.
Browns. I don't remember the Browns being part of it, but gosh, it was
Yeah, they
tough,
lost to the Browns, didn't they?
tough league. Yeah,
High-
they did
high
lose the
scoring-
league.
high scoring
yeah,
game.
It was, yeah.
And now you brought up another good, thought-provoking question, which we'll get to ours. Greatest running quarterback ever?
Oh wow, Fran Target. There's an old one.
He didn't run, he scrambled.
Well, he scrambled. That's true. Probably Michael Vick.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mike Vick.
Then Randall Cunningham.
Randall was up there big
And,
time.
and then Cam Newton near the goal line.
Cam, yeah, he was
He was a
awesome.
beast.
There were some great
All right.
ones.
All right, so we're gonna put a pin in some of this stuff.
All right.
I still think think we picked Kansas. I picked Kansas City and San Francisco. San Francisco winning. I still think that's my original Super Bowl pick. And now for the most important part of this whole thing is how we're doing in our football picks. In the field are two famous listeners, watchers.
Yeah.
Steve and Mike.
They're at the top, aren't they?
Steve might be a game behind. Steve's at 134 and 75. Mike's at 133 and 76. You and I have no shot at catching them. And before last night, I think we were tied.
Okay.
But counting last night's game, I'm at 125 and 84, and you're at 126 and 83.
Okay.
Got you exactly where
So
I
you
was.
must have taken the Chargers.
I did take the Chargers.
Oh, okay.
And then Cooper, unfortunately, is at 99 and 65.
What?
He said he's missed some.
Jacksonville. That's
Missed
who the
a couple
He's
weeks.
missed a couple of weeks.
Oh, you missed a couple.
Because he's been studying.
I've been too busy watching Sunday Ticket
No,
on
no,
two
no.
TVs at night.
Studying is the better answer. I want to hear studying. Too busy studying to make picks.
Oh, that's great.
So that's where we're. So you and I, like, I don't think, like the last time, I think the biggest is a 2-game lead you had on me.
Yeah, we've been
close.
We've been close the whole season.
So we're either both consistently awful.
We both went 6 and 9 last week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that
I mean,
was
that
a
was
tough
a
week
just-
for everybody.
That
though.
was a bloodbath. But I think the best one was 8 and 7 in the group. So it wasn't a week where
It
anybody
wasn't where
knew
anybody
anybody
dominated.
was going to beat those. I
So-
mean, who knew
I'm picking all upsets the last
Miami
3
would
weeks,
lose?
just so I can try to catch.
I'm
them.
picking all upsets.
So I catch
So you're
Steve or
going to go
Mike.
the other way?
Yeah, actually, I can look at their picks and I'm going the opposite. So
Hey, sometimes that works.
that's a little secret. That,
Oh yeah, don't tell anybody.
oh, maybe they won't see this part where I.
I think
talk
I went
about
with
it.
all favorites this week, so it could be a bloodbath if,
Oh, yeah.
one way or the other.
All right, and now 2 thought-provoking questions. I had this thought the other day, and again, I want your answers. G Hicks at somersetmd.us. Let us know what you think. Okay, you got one last drive to go 75 yards in 2 minutes. What quarterback do you want? First, present, and then all time.
Oh, okay. We can split it
Okay?
up.
So yeah, let's go 2.
So we're going like within the last few years. Well, to me, that's easy now is Mahomes.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I can
I
probably
think
cancel us all out on that.
you, Mahomes?
Taking
Yeah, I want to get
Aaron
this
Rodgers.
card, yeah. Oh, okay.
Reason why is
Okay.
he can get it done with 1:15 left in a game to tie it or win.
He
Aaron-
throws the best Hail Mary in the bunch, though. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Aaron's
He's
a good
proven
pick.
that.
he can.
Aaron's a good
Yeah,
pick.
I wouldn't go well because he's not playing right now.
He's
so I
not
don't
playing,
think-
unfortunately.
So, but I think Mahomes is the guy you really want.
Right.
Um,
For all the reasons that he's shown it.
Yeah.
And not once,
Cannon
but
of
numerous
Now-
times.
Cannon of an arm that can be.
But you know, interesting.
accurate.
Who has I got this stat over the last 15 years. Who has the most winning drives for that situation inside 2 minutes?
I couldn't tell you.
Brady.
Stafford. Matthew
Oh
Stafford.
yeah, he's got a lot of fourth
Yeah.
quarter
That
and
just
overtime coming
blows
on.
my mind that it's the truth, even with because he was always behind,
Yeah.
with Detroit.
Detroit.
So
Yeah.
apparently he did a lot. And he had a couple, I think, during their Super Bowl run too. They came back. So,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah.
you just never know these records who holds on to them. You get in love with the others. But now the
All
more
time.
interesting.
All time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Me? You want me to
Sure,
go?
you go first.
Great question.
Easy. It's an easy question. Joe Montana.
Okay.
I was gonna go with Montana as
Montana
well.
did it. And I'm going John Elway.
There we go. That's
Elway.
number 2.
Yeah.
Well, mine is
Because he
exactly
also
what
has a
it
good
is.
history of it.
Well, I saw him do it.
Yeah.
against the Browns.
Yeah.
It's called The Drive.
The Drive.
Yeah.
I saw him do it too. Yeah.
And I just think he could beat you with his legs
Oh yeah.
at that point too. Montana wasn't a runner.
Yeah.
Elway would run when he had to.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm gonna.
but Montana's a good pick too.
I'm gonna blow his mind. Maybe even yours, because I know I told you this. But I was at Stanford as a sophomore when Elway came to Stanford, and Bill Walsh was the coach
At Stanford?
at Stanford. This is 1979 when this was all going on. Okay, so Elway was the big big news. He got and he came to Stanford, and Stanford had a history of producing good quarterbacks and so on.
Yeah.
So Plunkett was one, and so on, and so there was a guy named Turk Schonert who was the starting quarterback in his 5th year. He redshirted his 4th year, so he was the starter and he was the incumbent. And Elway,
Played for the Bengals.
Had a career with the Bengals.
Yeah, he did.
And so he was the 5th year starter. So I'm in the. I was pledging a fraternity, so I would get there early in the morning. I get to 50-yard line, right behind the band, 10, 15 rows up. So I've got perfect vision of the field. I had to sit there 3 hours to to wait for the game to start. No beers in that cooler. I swear there weren't any beers in that cooler. But in comes this UCLA game, and big rival with Stanford. In comes Elway in the second quarter, I think, middle of second quarter. And mind you, that football plays were always under center, wideouts, 3 tailbacks, the 3, fullback and 2. I mean, standard stuff.
Yep.
All right, but you're Bill Walsh, okay? So here's what happened. As a freshman, Elway comes in, starts on his own 20 or 25, wherever it was. Shotgun. 4 bullets down the field, no huddle, touchdown. Everybody's in the stands just going,
Oh, crazy.
what was that?
Yeah.
Well, that was the birth of the West Coast offense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
shotgun, no huddle, 2-minute drill. And so there's the greatest guy starting it,
Yeah.
the first series of his freshman year in college.
and really the only people who ran the shotgun were the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys did that when Staubach was there.
Yeah, a little bit, that's right.
Yeah. So it had been, and it
Had been
probably
used.
was
I know,
used
I'm
in
sure
the
it was
40s or
used, yeah.
50s.
It may have been
But-
used before.
but it wasn't
But this was a
a
design
standard-
situation
yeah.
to.
It wasn't.
And
that's-
it's 4 previous call plays. But Elway, he had such an arm that he could find a guy and just sizzle it down there. And
Oh yeah.
he was so.
Yeah.
They called it. I roomed with a guy who played catch with him, football. He was a baseball player. He's big too, and he said that the coach, when he heard that he was even on the same field with Elway, because his hands, he says, "Get off that field! Don't even think about catching that ball." And they said the cross. He had the Elway cross that would happen if you didn't know better and tried to catch it with your chest.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It just buried
Sure.
the football
Yeah.
emblem
For
or
the
the end
point-
of
the
for the
point,
point
yeah,
of the
where the
football
point is
in
that
there.
cross.
And it hurt, and it hurt a lot apparently.
I would think.
So anyway, there's an Elway story, straightforward, straight up.
So you're
I was
you,
there.
You don't even pick your guy.
I didn't even
Man,
pick my guy.
Stanford alum are gonna.
Well, I
love.
love,
I love
Joe,
Montana.
cool baby.
He was cool.
He could.
And
just,
he did it too.
was so
He did it in the
smooth.
Super Bowl.
And he didn't do it with his legs.
Yeah.
Elway would do a lot with his legs, which
Yeah.
is to his power.
Yeah.
It's one of his powers. Montana didn't have it, and Montana never. And maybe it was just he had great offensive line. It's kind of like
Yeah.
the Redskins suck, or any quarterback's going to really have trouble unless they're Mahomes or Elway or somebody that can really scramble around. But he just stood in that pocket, boom, 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 and there was never any thought that it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And Brady had that to some degree
Yeah.
during his heyday when
He would be on the list.
he would be there. Yeah.
Favre would be on
yeah,
my list.
Favre would be on our list. Yeah.
I was going to go with
He's
Favre.
great.
Unitas would be on my list. Star.
Yeah.
If you want to go back that far,
Yeah.
guys who could put it together.
Yeah.
Could, when they're calling.
But
their
also,
plays,
like you
but-
said, it's great players
Steve
around
Young.
these guys.
Yeah.
Steve Young.
Steve Young. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I just love Joe, and so I'm biased just because I got to see him in his real prime. And
Yeah.
See him he was an artist back there.
He was. It was fun
Marino.
watching him play.
Marino had some great ones, but
Marino
again,
could
see,
be-
he didn't have the
team
surrounding
Yeah.
characters
Yeah.
that would
Yeah.
get them to that next level of
Yeah.
play. And he's the classic guy who's doesn't have the Super Bowl win, doesn't have the the cachet of some of the historic quarterbacks, only because of that. He's got I don't know how many of them. He held the records for all these with 14 game seasons.
Yeah.
For 30
Yards,
years, he held all
Yards,
these.
touchdowns.
So
Yeah.
that man could throw the ball. I
Yes, he
remember
could.
watching him. He was unbelievable.
And again, if Elway didn't win those last two Super Bowls, he's like 2-3 in Super Bowls.
I know.
So he lost 3 of them.
He did.
So if it wasn't for that,
That
I guess
surgeons at the
Shanahan
end.
was
Yeah.
the coach,
Shanahan.
and getting Davis as a running back
Yeah.
because they never had that good stud
Wasn't Dan
running
Reeves?
back. He was in the first 3.
So Shanahan was the winner.
I think
for
so.
Denver?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
Don't
the
quote
coach.
me on that.
Yeah.
But-
I just remember Reeves was
Sharp play
on the
for
sideline.
Shanahan.
Yeah, he was.
So
the
Sharp
one
was there.
that-
Okay.
Yeah, won the
okay.
Super Bowls.
I got you. Sharp was good.
So okay, so now we're gonna go 4th and goal at the 1, and you gotta hand it off to somebody. Who are you giving it to?
I'm going to Jalen Hurts with the tush push. Or the bro push. What do they call it?
The brotherly shove.
Brotherly shove.
shove. Green Bay, they call it the love
The
shove.
love shove. I'm going with
It's almost guaranteed based on.
Well, don't ask Navy how that is
Yeah.
almost guaranteed.
I know. I
'Cause
saw
they
that
lost
game.
that game.
Yeah, but they don't do it the same apparently.
Yeah,
Apparently there's some technique to it.
yeah.
I'm going with beast mode Marshawn Lynch.
Lynch, good pick.
He was like 1 or 2 on my list. This is gonna shock everybody. I'm going with William the Refrigerator.
Good pick.
That guy,
Send in the
Good
fridge.
pick.
he
was
athletic
Yeah.
and huge,
and huge.
and he got a quick first step. He was hard to stop. That
Yep.
I
That's
saw
pretty
him
hard to
destroy,
go against there.
I saw him destroy George Kuntz, I think his name was, with the Packers on that one when the first time they put him in there.
Oh my god.
And
I'm shaking my
you
head
know-
like I've seen him play, but
Yeah.
I've seen highlights.
and if
yeah.
not him, Walter Payton, because he could outjump everybody.
Right.
He could jump over the top of it.
And you know that Walter
But-
Payton was utterly, truly bitter
Oh,
in the
yes.
Super Bowl that he
Yep.
didn't get that call for
Yep.
that touchdown.
Yeah.
'Cause didn't he get him down to there to the one and then they put it
Yeah.
in the fridge or something?
Yeah, he totally was.
He was very, very
like
upset
a
about
Ditka,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Oh well.
Oh,
Still
well.
won the Super Bowl.
All right, now that ends our NFL section. A couple things we're just going to touch on real quick because they don't really mean much right now. The NBA had their big mid-season tournament.
Yeah.
in season.
In-season. I'm
tournament.
sorry,
In-season
in-season tournament.
IST.
That's how much
Which they said was a whopping success.
I don't know how. How do you
Based on
judge it?
viewership
I guess.
and social media interest and,
And
all
again-
that stuff, apparently.
I watched the championship.
I didn't watch any of
and
it.
It's the
I
game.
saw it from afar.
The championship game did not count towards any of their stats.
Nothing.
None of it
for the
did,
season,
apparently.
for their career,
Nothing.
nothing.
It's
And
crazy.
There's no
The championship game, because it's, I heard somebody say it's the 83rd game. So instead of just playing 82, it's an extra game so they
Yes.
don't count it.
Yes,
Like, I don't know if the other stats count or not. The wins count.
But in
for
the
team.
final,
the
it
wins
didn't
count, but nothing
Oh, that's,
counted. Nothing
But-
counted except for this is your winner of the in-season tournament.
Did you see the hullabaloo about the basketball, the game ball with Giannis
Yes,
and
yeah.
and the guy that was
The other night I heard them
Pacer
talking about it.
player
Yeah,
getting his first
His-
point, but he actually had a
Sheboy.
free throw
in the Lakers game,
in the
tournament.
in-season tournament
Yeah.
final, but it didn't count.
Apparently didn't count,
So his
yeah.
actual,
That was-
oh, what a ridiculous thing there. But no count. How does it not count?
How do you not count?
Goes up, goes in, it counts. I mean,
You still made
just
it.
Didn't
Well,
happen.
You still made it.
I think-
yeah, it's
I
not
think
the-
it
I
does.
guess just because it's for extra.
The in-season
games.
tournament, those stats did count because I remember seeing stats for in-season tournament, and they had an all-tournament team of LeBron, Giannis, AD,
Yeah.
Halliburton,
yeah.
and I guess Jokic. Don't quote me on it, but
Right.
so I think those counted to their stats. The record, the wins and losses counted. It's just the championship game was the only thing.
I don't know. It's so far out
So,
of it.
here's
All I
what-
know is the Lakers played great.
It doesn't matter. The winner got $500,000, which is what LeBron's cheapskate wanted. So,
And all I know, apparently this Halliburton is having a great year.
yeah, he is.
All I know about him is I heard he's from Oshkosh, so that
Yeah.
makes me happy. He's a Wisconsin boy.
How long has he been in the NBA?
I don't know. I don't
Couple
know where
years.
he came
He-
from. I don't know about
he's-
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
He started in Sacramento with as a backcourt option with Fox, and then when Sacramento
They traded-
for
what's his name?
Sabonis,
Sabonis.
and Halliburton and Buddy Hield were in that.
And
was
yeah,
in that
but he's
deal.
playing. So, but here's my question, which I think is funny. The Lakers are going to hang a banner.
Yeah,
Come on.
Is that the silliest thing you've ever heard?
Hey, listen, LA, nothing but pomp and circumstance, so they want to.
Why would you hang? Is it that big of a deal? You have to hang a banner for an in-season tournament where you played like one game against somebody. Like it's not the best of 7. It's not whatever. You played one game, you won, you advanced.
well, you have
You know.
you have your regular games, and then you have your knockout stage, and then you have the quarterfinal, semifinal, and the final. So I mean,
I just think
it's a
it's
tournament in general, but like, it's just since it's the first one, you know.
The guys arrive at the arena, and somebody says, "Hey, tonight's a tournament game."
Huh?
Oh.
Oh yeah, we're playing on the
Okay.
fancy painted
Whatever.
floor.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
You know?
If any other team won it besides the Lakers, they would probably do the same thing
Yeah,
and raise a banner.
Yeah, I think
that's
it-
probably true.
I think it's silly.
LeBron seemed to be pretty excited about
He
it.
was, I guess. I guess he was. I don't really watch a lot of NBA, but
It's another MVP for
He's
him,
a-
another
I
championship.
tell you what,
and then
for
it's,
him-
and I heard that they were gonna hang. He was gonna say, "Oh yeah, Jordan never won an in-season."
Yeah, right.
He was never MVP of the in-season tournament. That proves that
Some of
LeBron's the GOAT.
Some of the highlights for LeBron were pretty impressive for what his age.
He
and
can
his,
play. That's all I'm
And
gonna
apparently
say
his
about him.
son came back to
Yeah.
play,
UFC.
right, after having
Yep.
that heart attack.
Yeah,
Oh,
That was pretty amazing.
yeah.
yeah, but
I didn't even know that he had a heart attack. That's how
Cardiac
far out
arrest.
of it I
Yeah,
am.
he was. Yeah,
And he's back. Was
June, July, somewhere around
Is
there.
that right?
Yeah.
Man. Where was
Yeah,
I?
that's
I
scary.
missed that altogether.
well, you were busy working.
I was busy. That's
Yeah,
true. We
busy.
were rocking in June here.
All right, that's all I'm saying about the NBA because I don't.
Good.
It's there's nothing else exciting.
Not
about
yet
the NBA.
time to talk
No.
about it. It's not even Christmas.
And now something that it's
Right
not
after.
the in-season
After
tournament.
football season.
After football, then I think
Yeah.
about it.
Basketball, baseball.
That's right.
And speaking of baseball, the only big news is Ohtani signed with the Dodgers, $700 million for 10 years, so that's $70 million a year. Do you know how much money he's taking out of that, and
I
how much
do.
is deferred?
$2
Did you hear
million.
it?
680 million. Oh no,
It's
I mean,
deferred.
Yes.
20,
Yeah.
yeah, 680
Two-
million.
two-
He's taking
2 million.
20 million. He's going to get paid $2 million a year.
2 million
$2
for
million
10
a year for
Yeah.
10 years.
And there's no interest accruing on the
He
deferred
decided
payment.
not to get that. He just, yeah.
He wants to win.
Yeah?
He's plenty rich. If you think this is big money here, you know how much he's making from the Japanese?
In
I mean,
endorsements.
Whatever.
60 million.
If he sets foot in Japan, he's just showered with
Yeah.
every bit of,
Yeah.
you can imagine. But the guy, man, I was watching some of those highlights, and we don't get to see him a whole lot because of where they play and all that. His bat speed is phenomenal,
Yeah.
and he's huge. I mean, the ball's gone.
Yeah?
And you're not even going to pitch this year, which is a shame.
or I think
Or the next year, like 2
or
years.
next
it's
year.
gonna take
Yeah.
2 years
Yeah.
off.
Because of the ACL. Or the,
But the
Tommy
thought
John.
was
Tommy John.
is he going to inspire because of his doing both or being allowed to do both? Is he going to inspire more athletes to try to take that path and do both?
the key is you got to be the hitter. You
But
have to be a
think about-
hitter.
They said, and this is true because you go through all the high schools, the best hitter is the pitcher,
And he
right?
also plays shortstop.
and also plays shortstop. And then they go to college, and then oftentimes, although now they're segmenting and making pitchers just pitch and not even hit because they have
Right.
the DH rule,
Yeah.
which is a shame. But
Yeah.
oftentimes, and maybe with Shohei, he was just always the biggest, best, and he could
Sure.
do all of it. And
Yeah.
Well, it's
But
the Angels who brought him in.
But they allowed him to do it.
They had
Yeah.
Trout, so
Yeah.
you need another bat to accompany Trout.
Right.
And
And there he was.
there he was.
And it's amazing, how did they not win 100 games a year with that? Just those two with just a little bit of help.
You would think.
It just takes a little more than
And
two.
it's sad because
nine guys. Man.
I don't know if I've seen Mike Trout play.
It's
a game.
very rare occurrence that you
Yeah.
see Mike Trout.
He's
It's
a
really-
phenomenal player,
And
and
he's-
the Angels are just
The best player in baseball.
And they're
Yeah.
going to hold on to him.
Yeah.
They're
and
gonna
they're
let him
just
go.
You don't see
ruining
it.
Mike Trout.
It's a shame.
It is.
You want to see him a little bit.
But he doesn't have to keep signing contracts.
No.
If he
And
wants
you
to
know,
go somewhere
another
else,
place like that is San Diego. And my man Soto
your man.
got out of the prison of San Diego and is going to the next prison of New York, but at least he'll be talked about a lot.
Yes.
And having a left-handed strong bat like he does, he can hit pop-ups out of that field.
Oh yeah.
He can hit a
short
310-foot
porch.
pop-up
Yeah.
and it'll go over
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
fence.
right after Aaron
So-
Judge grounds out and Giancarlo Stanton strikes out. But
Is he going to hit on behind all that?
Oh,
or-
I don't know.
He'll hit in front of them.
yeah,
He'll
Or
probably
he'll hit in between them.
he'll hit in front of Judge.
Well, Judge was leading off.
Judge will be. Oh
Wasn't
yeah,
he?
they were.
He
Yeah,
was
for a
leading
while.
off in the last part of the season.
Which makes sense because you want to get as many at bats
So,
from that guy as you can.
But Soto with the
Soto's
Nationals.
second and Stanton third.
Yeah.
well, they still have Glaber and I think LeMahieu.
Yeah, well, they
Those guys.
have been getting it done lately in New York. So
Anyway, I just love all the former Nationals, and they're all playing for other teams.
yeah,
Bryce Harper.
Former Nationals.
you had your run. You had your run a
Bryce.
couple years
Yeah.
ago.
Oh, we had our
You were
run.
champs.
Soto was on my team.
Yeah.
You know, and
I-
so was Trey Turner. Bryce Harper had already left.
Soto
But-
played in the Sally League. I remember up at the
You did.
Shorebirds. Yeah.
He was there, Soto.
Oh yeah, he's hitting
Oh,
home
no
runs.
kidding.
Yeah, they moved him through. relatively
Yeah, like
quick.
in a half a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, but I remember he was there.
He came
was-
up and hit pitching right out of the gate.
Yeah, he
like,
was
like
always good.
He
there.
had the eye of eyes.
Yeah.
You'd see in the first year he was with the Nationals, you'd see that ball just go by the black, and he'd stop, and he'd get rung up by the umpire, and he'd go, and then he'd
Really?
turn around,
Yeah.
and he almost got tossed a couple times.
like, really?
'Cause they don't like
Right.
that. They don't want you to so he stopped looking back because I don't think that's allowed to begin with.
Yeah,
And then he would step out and he'd just talk.
yeah,
Who knows what he was saying? He's probably talking in Spanish or
Yeah.
what his native language was.
yeah.
But man, what a hitter! I just hope that he gets. I hope he stays healthy and I mean it's going to make it harder on the O's to
Yeah, the AL East.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be tough.
muddle
for the
that
AL
up a
East.
little
I mean,
bit.
If they can get that kid who's moved up the ranks very
Yeah,
quickly,
right.
Holiday. If they're saying starting second baseman opening day in 2024,
Pitchers and catchers.
Opening day.
opening day.
Oh, he'll be on the roster.
Gunner is short.
That's my feeling. I've said that a lot. I think Gunnar has a stronger arm, but he was 18 when I saw him play. So.
Well, you got the rookie of the year. It's hard to move him from the position
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
he was playing. So, wow. Well, that's exciting. That's another show.
Pitchers and catchers report in about 40 days. So.
Yeah. we'll
Can,
get on
can
that.
Holiday hit though?
Yes.
He can.
Yeah, oh yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I've
when-
never seen a guy hit so many gaps.
We haven't
in
had
my
a,
life.
It's been a while since locally, I guess, we've had a phenom
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
feel or
Yeah.
excitement come up. So
Yeah, I've
be
never
interesting to see it.
the guy. I've been doing minor league baseball for 18 years.
Yeah.
I've never seen a guy hit the gap so many times. Left field gap, right field gap. Just a doubles machine. That kid could hit it. So
So with this, the Otani, to finish this up, they said that he's going to make less than the backup catcher.
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Woo! the only thing, and then it's like, is this going to be the trend for all of baseball
Yeah.
to sign somebody big and not big? At some point, you are going to get taxed for that money.
Eventually, it's got to be, right?
Yeah.
It's got to hit the cap at some level.
Yeah, you can't just say, well,
What did you defer it for?
They just
when
want
he
another,
retires, we'll give him the rest.
another
No.
Bobby Vanilla day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bobby
Vanilla, he's making
Vanilla,
25
How many
million.
Vanilla,
years?
Vanilla.
25 what?
No, I don't know. He gets a ton of
He
money.
gets a lot of
For a
He
money.
long
signed that
time.
deferred 30-year deferred payments or something. So the Mets are on the hook for that for
Yeah.
like
Oh my
every
God.
year. So, all right, let's go to college football. You guys don't want to talk about Florida State. I think they got hosed a little bit. But we'll just keep
Yeah,
this
let's
simple.
move on.
We'll keep it simple. Michigan and Alabama, Washington and Texas. Who do you like?
I think
like-
Alabama wins.
Ooh, I was gonna say I like Michigan.
All right.
All right.
We're going to have
I
a
like
bet on it.
Michigan.
We'll have to have a bet on it.
They're,
like
they're, they're hot.
I
Man.
got-
They're
I like
hot.
both teams. I
Yeah.
like both teams.
I like Alabama also.
Okay.
I know
It's going against it.
my good friend
That's
and
not unusual.
Alabama's probably going to win. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. They took down the back-to-back defending national champions. So.
Alabama's gotten a little bit better as the years progressed,
Yeah.
too. That
Yeah.
quarterback's
Yeah.
gotten better and
He's-
better
yeah,
and better.
he's gotten
So,
and my good friend and boss at the Shorebirds is a Michigan. He's from Michigan,
yeah.
and he's actually going out there
Is he?
to the Rose Bowl. So which I think that's great. I wish him
So the Rose
a
Bowl's
lot
where
of
they're
fun.
playing. Man, what a great stadium.
He's like we're going to steamroll them, but that's a true fan talking.
Yeah.
Washington and
Let's
Texas.
just hope it's a good game. God, I could have absolutely no interest in this game at all. I didn't watch either of the teams play the whole
I
year.
only would if Arch Manning was playing.
Yeah.
That's right, he's a Texas.
Who played one
Yeah,
One series or
one,
something?
yeah, something like that.
I got Texas.
Longhorns, baby.
All right, I'll go Washington just to be
Just to be
contrary.
different. Yeah, I like that.
Well, that's Pac-12, so
Yeah.
it's the last Pac-12,
The last Pac-12
team ever to
ever.
play.
Yeah.
So,
So then your champion would be
between that, I got to
You
be
got Alabama,
Alabama's
Washington?
going. Alabama's going to win it again.
you got Alabama, Cooper,
Yeah, probably Alabama. I mean, I know I picked Michigan.
and I know Texas and Alabama played before, and I'm going with Texas again. They beat them the first time.
You think they can beat them again?
Yeah.
Woo! I'm gonna bet you.
It's the future,
Great.
the future SEC champions right there.
Texas.
Yeah,
That's right. Is that next year they start in?
Yes.
sure is.
Yeah.
And the 12-team playoff starts next year.
Yep.
Yes.
So,
So we can argue.
so now the
who's number
13th team
That's
is going to
right.
sue for not getting in
That's the way
because
of the
they were
world.
13-0 in the WAC conference.
That's right. They should be in. Dang it.
Whatever.
All right.
Nothing against the WAC conference.
So that's it for this week. We're out of time.
It flew by.
It did. And thank you,
See
Coops,
what
for
happened.
sitting in.
Yeah,
that was
it's fun.
fun.
More
Thanks-
energy.
Thanks for having me.
Just a shout out. Go support your local high school team for whatever sport they got going this winter.
Yeah,
It's-
high school sports are fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
They're exciting. And
And they have the
go out.
basketball. Isn't the basketball tournament up there?
The big one is coming up, yes.
Soon. It's being advertised a lot.
Right after Christmas.
Is it
the
right
Governor's
after Christmas?
Challenge.
The Governor's Challenge.
Yeah,
I
locally
gotta
the
go this year.
Governor's
I haven't
Challenge.
been to that, but I understand it's quite quite
Yeah,
interesting.
there's some.
There's some great players.
It's
that come
one of the
through there.
bigger
Yeah,
tournaments.
A lot of college
Yeah.
scouts and whatnot.
Yeah. So and that's up in Salisbury. If you're,
Yeah, that's
if
pretty
you're,
cool.
I'm probably gonna go.
Little old Salisbury has all this attention and all this
Yeah,
excitement for.
yeah. It's a big big tournament. So
Who knew?
all right. We probably won't be doing this again until after Christmas and after New Year.
Bah humbug.
Yeah. So that'll give
They're
us a lot
clamoring
more.
for us. They
Well,
don't want to not have a
Well,
show.
if we get an all-time record in views, then we
Yeah.
might come back. We'll make a special.
I don't want to
appearance.
ask that number.
I'm not going to say that. number.
Good.
But we wish everybody out there Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year.
Yes, indeed. Hope you get
And
everything you
be
hope
safe and enjoy. And
for. Happy holidays.
yeah,
Merry Christmas.
get to be with family because that's what it's all about. So
Exactly.
until next time, probably in the new year. Take care. We'll see you then.
Bye.